This video will show how to play the major scale pattern in Phrygian mode. This is when the major scale starts out on the third note of its scale. Instead of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, we will have Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi. We will then create a simple melody using the Ionian mode, which will be the root or foundation upon which the harmony will be played. The harmony will be a major third. Do will be the root, while Mi will be the harmony. This video was done in standard E tuning. The logic and techniques in this video can also be applied to the bass. To play the major scale using Phrygian mode, we will use a one finger, one fret approach. Any notes on the 7th fret will be covered with the first finger. Any notes on the 8th fret will be covered with the middle finger. Any notes on the 9th fret will be covered with the ring finger. And any notes on the 10th fret will be covered by the pinky. Pay very close attention to the fingering and don't cheat yourself by avoiding the use of your pinky. In the key of C major, E is the third note of the scale, and that's where the Phrygian mode starts out. It's located on the A string at the 7th fret, where you're going to place your first finger. The second note of the mode is a half step up in pitch to the 8th fret on the same string. The third note of the mode is a step up in pitch to the 10th fret on the same string. The fourth note of the mode is a step up in pitch, a string up in pitch to the 7th fret. The fifth note of the mode is a step up in pitch to the 9th fret on the same string. The sixth note of the mode is a half step up in pitch to the 10th fret on the same string. The 7th note of the mode is a step up in pitch, a string up in pitch to the 7th fret. The final note of the mode is a step up in pitch to the 9th fret on the same string. This is the octave of E. And this is Phrygian mode. Notice that we will use the same alternate picking technique and the same 8th note time values that were used in the earlier videos. On a 4 count, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Instead of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, we now have Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi. The notes are E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. The key signature of the song is G major. The melody of the song is going to work off of G major in the Ionian mode. Think of the melody of the song as a lead vocal being done on guitar. The root note G that we'll be working off of will be on the D string at the 5th fret. We're going to play a real simple riff pattern using the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd notes of the major scale. For those that don't know what a riff is a musical pattern that keeps repeating itself throughout music. We'll play this with 8th note timing using proper alternate picking. Kind of like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that's going to keep repeating itself. I'll do that once again without the count so you can hear it a little better. The harmony that we are going to create here will be a perfect major third higher in pitch than a root note. Think of the harmony part as a backing or supporting vocal part that backs up a lead singer. The only difference is, now we're going to do it on the guitar instead. So if G is our root note, to find a major third, you simply go to the third note of the major scale. In this case, it's a B note, located on the 4th fret of the G string, here. The interval from the root note to the third note of the major scale is called a major third interval. In this case, it's a major third higher in pitch than the root note. What we will do is play the riff pattern of the melody starting out on B instead of the root note of G, like we did in Ionian mode. We're going to shift from this B note up to the B note on the D string at the 9th fret for simplicity, so we won't have to readjust the riff pattern to compensate for the tuning of the B string. So when we play this, listen to how bad it's going to sound. Now the problem with that is we're playing in the key of G major, which only has one sharp, an F sharp. In this position we've got two sharps. We've got D sharp and C sharp, neither of which is in the key of G, so this ain't going to work anymore. The riff pattern's going to have to be adjusted to compensate. Let's jump to the next segment where I overdubbed the melody in Ionian mode and played this over top of it so you can hear how bad they're going to clash. Since we know that the scale pattern for Phrygian mode starts out on the third note of the major scale, we will take what we learned in the key of C major and apply it to the key of G major. We know that E is the third note of the C major scale. So if we place our first finger on the A string at the 7th fret, this is the pattern for Phrygian mode that we have. Now what we will do is apply that to the third note of the G major scale, which we established to be a B note, located on the D string at the 9th fret. Now notice that the last two notes of the mode were shifted up a half a step in pitch each to compensate for the tuning of the B string. I didn't physically shift the hand position up or down the neck, I just changed the fingering. What we're most concerned with though is just the first four notes of the mode. Pretty much the first note, the second note, the third note, and the fourth note. Using those, we'll create a harmony that's a perfect major third higher in pitch than the melody that we did earlier. So this is what you'll have. Once again, I overdubbed the melody and played this part over it so you could hear how much better it's going to sound. Let's jump to that clip right now. The harmony part that we just created is a perfect major third higher in pitch than the melody that we did. We've been working off of the root note of G, located on the 5th fret of the D string here. We know that in the key of G major, B is the 3rd note of the scale, located here on the 4th fret of the G string. To play that same harmony part, a major third lower in pitch, we'll simply go to the lower octave of B, located on the 2nd fret of the A string here. We'll apply the Phrygian mode. And what we'll do is we'll play the same fingering pattern that we did for the harmony in the last example. This is what you'll have. And here's how that's going to sound. On a musical piece that I wrote called Another Crossroad, I played an imperfect harmony. What I was attempting to do was play a harmony that was a perfect major third higher in pitch than the melody. In fact, it's the same harmony and melody parts that we've been doing in this video. With the first finger on the D string at the 9th fret, this is what we've been doing in Phrygian mode. That's what I meant to do. It's working off of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th notes of the mode. On my original piece, I jumped up and worked from the 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th notes of the mode, just like this. What I did was I started out in Phrygian mode, here. And then at this point, I actually jumped to Lydian mode by mistake. Technically it's not wrong because all the notes done are still in the key of G major. It worked and it sounded good, so I kept it. Here's how it sounded. If you would like to see how the imperfect harmony was used in Another Crossroad, its video is on this channel. The harmony enters about 2/3 of the way through the song. The video itself did not come out very good because there were too many guitar parts to jump to as the next one layered in. It would have been easy if only one part was played during the video with the other ones overdubbed. The point was to show the progression of the piece as each new guitar entered. Hopefully you will enjoy the artistry of it, if not the quality.